Welcome to another town hall meeting. I'm Cheryl Jackson, and I'm excited about tonight. I tell you, it's by divine order that we're talking with the representatives of Denver Seminary. And I love it because we're going to be talking to them from the perspective of the Black church. So we're going to jump right in because we have a half hour, and I want to get as much information in as possible. So we're going to introduce our first guest. It's Reverend Deborah Barr. She serves as an associate pastor at the First Baptist Church of Glenarden, the host site for the Denver Seminary, Washington, D.C. Extension Campus. She holds a Master of Divinity from Denver Seminary, and her prior education background includes a Bachelor of Science in Theology at Missouri State, a Master of Aeronautics, I can't even say the word, science, at Embry-Riddle, and British Doctor of Law at the University of District of Columbia. And I love it because she served the armed forces as well. Thank you for your service, and welcome to our town hall meeting tonight.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you.
I'm excited. All right, our second guest is Pamela Creekmoor. She serves as an instructor and director within the Education and Training Department at the First Baptist Church of Glenarden in Maryland. She currently works as the research lead for the Denver Seminary, Washington, D.C. Extension Campus. She holds a Master of Arts degree in leadership from Denver Seminary and Bachelor of Science degree in nursing from the Howard University, Washington, D.C. Everybody says HU. You know. Pamela has worked in the health and human services arena for more than 30 years and is the former public health officer of Prince George's County. And we're excited to have you tonight. Welcome, Pamela.
Thank you so much. It's a thrill to be here.
I'm excited. And then our final guest is Reverend Iantha Brown. She serves as co-pastor at Refuge Church Ministries, the second in Glen Burnie, Maryland, along with her husband, Reverend Dr. V. Keith Brown Sr. She holds a Master of Divinity degree from Denver Seminary and is currently a student in the Doctor of Ministry program at Denver. Prior to taking on ministry full-time, she was a registered nurse in the Baltimore, Washington metropolitan area. And Reverend Brown holds a Bachelor's of Science degree from the University of Maryland School of Nursing, as well as Masters of General Administration from University of Maryland University College with a concentration in healthcare. We're excited to have you tonight as well, Reverend I.
Great to be here. Great to be here. Thank you.
Listen, I told you it's divine order. I just said to my husband, when my daughter finishes college, I'm going to seminary. And so, trying to study and see which ones to go to. And now we're talking about engaging Black ministry. I think this might be the one. So we're going to go ahead and get into conversation. Tell us why seminary.
Well, I think one of the best reasons for going to seminary is that it helps leaders grow and develop their authoritative their voice about the scriptures and the doctrines of our Christian faith, no matter whether you serve in the church or you're in the marketplace. And it helps to equip people to expand their thinking by being exposed to the perspectives of the other students that you will study with and also the professors that you encounter along the way.
I love it. I love it. And, one of the major things I'm thinking about is being able to contend for the faith, like, just being able to speak intelligently about what we believe and what we know. So I'm really excited about seminary. So how is Denver Seminary structured to support working adults?
But the classes are offered in the evenings and on the weekends, and you can work full time and still take classes with Denver Seminary. You don't have to go anywhere. It's right here in the District of Columbia. And the online portions of the classwork, you can do it at any time, day or night. If you're a morning person or if you're a night person, you can work around your schedule. So it's very easy to take your classes with Denver Seminary.
Oh, you're making this real easy for us to not say no about it, right? Because we can work it around our own schedule. So what distinguishes Denver Seminary from other seminaries in the DC area?
Well, our seminary is foundationally evangelical, and the seminary itself is a body of Christ. We're guided by the scriptures and the scriptural authority as the word of God. Our students are challenged not to just grow in knowledge of the scriptures, but also in relationships and in the practical expression of their faith. We also offer training and mentoring, which is required for the students in the Master of Divinity and the Master of Arts and Leadership program. And that helps to develop you as a lifelong learner. And you walk out of Denver Seminary with a greater capacity to discern, develop, and manage your own future learning experiences. So it's one of the great things about our program that I believe is different than other seminaries.
I absolutely love that. You know, taking different ministry classes to prepare for the word as an evangelist. I've been able to take classes for, hermeneutics, homiletics, and taking different things about the oratory. But I want to be able to have a degree that says the full gamut of it, and being able to do it through seminary, I think, is the best way to get it done. Now, is Denver Seminary affordable? That's what inquiry minds really want to know.
Yes. So there's several ways that students can obtain assistance for their education. We have scholarships available. We have tuition discounts. We also are VA certified, meaning if you are have veterans benefits, you can utilize those to study at Denver Seminary. We also have work study positions where students can work and get an offset in their tuition. So there's lots of ways to finance this education. And I always like to say that if God is calling you to this, he'll provide the resources.
I believe that. I totally believe that. But those great perks are good to know about, when we're thinking about it. Now, how can someone who's interested learn more about it?
Yeah, if you're interested in learning about our graduate programs, our Master of Divinity, Master of Arts and Leadership, or Certificate in Biblical and Theological Studies, you can go to our website at DenverSeminary.edu /DC. And there you can schedule a site visit. We have open houses that we do once a month. You can also learn about our degrees there or request more information. And I'm happy to meet with people individually as the site director if you would like to learn more about our programs.
All right, you're going to get a call from your sister over here. So for those who are watching via YouTube, that's watching Facebook, if you have questions that you want to ask any of our professionals tonight with regards to Denver Seminary, we're talking about engaging Black ministry as well. We're going to get into that conversation. But if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if it's something that we haven't touched on that you want to know about, we want to hear from you. So you know how to do it, right? Leave your comments wherever you are, YouTube, Facebook, and we'll address it with our experts while we have them here. And share. Like, tell everybody that this town hall is going on, because like me, it might be somebody else who's interested in going into seminary, who may say, you know what, I didn't think I could afford it. I didn't think I could do it. And God might be pushing you to go towards this direction. So make sure you share this information on your page. Okay, so we're going to get into some more questions here. Now, Denver Seminary, the Institute of Ministerial Studies for Lay Ministries, can you tell us about the Institute of Ministerial Studies by Lay Ministries program? Because you don't have to be a pastor, you don't have to be a titled evangelist to want to know more about the Word of God or dig deep into your education. So can you tell us a little bit more about the Lay Ministry program?
Absolutely, and I'd be delighted to share some information. First of all, let me just say that the lay ministry program we are just introducing to the DMV. This program was up and running in the Denver campus, at the Littleton campus in Denver, and it's been up for a while. And so what we've done is we have brought that program here, introducing it to our area. The lay ministry program is very exciting because what it allows is that people who have always wanted to go to seminary or get that theological education, but perhaps did not have the undergraduate level work behind them, this gives them an opportunity to get to seminary once they go through this program without that undergraduate level education. In other words, you'll go through this program and then you can go ahead and apply to be a graduate level student. But really the other important piece about it is that it allows, it offers leaders, either seasoned or people who are just starting out in ministry leadership roles to become more confident in the roles in which they have. Many of us know and understand that sometimes the church is not as simplex as it used to be. And so that as it changes and it develops and it becomes more complex, it really does require you to have some time in study so that you really are prepared for the work that you believe God has called you to do. The other thing that I can tell you about it is once you finish the lay ministry program, which is 1 year in length, it's one academic year, a fall and a spring semesters, a total of 4 weekend seminars and 6 what we call core courses. Those courses are 5 weeks in length. So it's manageable. It's very doable. The information that you're exposed to and the people that you go through, because we do teach this in a cohort style. You go through the whole program with those people, learning from professors and of course learning from the people that you sit beside and learn with every day. So you can it offers you an opportunity to go to seminary or to apply for Denver Seminary as a graduate level student. Wow. Or you can go and apply the 18 credits in an undergraduate program. Or you can simply stop there and use it in the marketplace or in your ministry, your church setting, wherever you might be. So it offers a lot in that 1 year of learning and the time that you put into that program. So yes, very, very excited about the lay ministry program here.
That's so awesome. So how does the program work? You said workshops.
Yeah. It's 1 year, as I said, and it includes those 4 weekend seminars. As a matter of fact, our first weekend seminar for the DC campus is coming up this weekend. It's a Friday evening, Saturday morning, afternoon, kind of time slot, and then you have you have 3 courses in the fall, and then the mirrors itself in the spring semester, where you do 2 weekend seminars and 3 core courses. So that's kind of how it's set up. Some of the classes, for instance, in case people are wondering, you would get spiritual formation, some counseling practices, effective communication, all of these things that will just help you to just dig deeper, shine brighter, and just overall be more effective in the ministry that you're a part of.
That's so good. I was just going to say, Bonita Owen says this is very interesting and informative. It really is. And again, I love this portion of it because you don't have to have a title to want to know more. And oftentimes we do Bible study within our lifetime, and we've done Bible study so much that we could have probably gotten certificates from it, or we probably could have gotten some credentials from it, right?
Sure.
From the Bible studies that we've attended in our own churches. Why not go ahead and get credentials for it?
Exactly. Because the thing that is that this can, once you have that certificate in hand, it can certainly pave the way for, ordination, depending on the process of your denomination or, whatever church that you are a part of. But what your pastor or your leaders can be assured of is that you have had solid biblical training. And so you are, well versed. You may not be totally, very experienced, but you have the knowledge base. You have that very strong foundation that, you can just build on as you go and as you grow.
And I would say even mention to your leadership that you're interested in doing, Denver Seminary, because oftentimes churches will support that. They might financially help you support, especially if you're up for candidacy for some type of ministry position. And you know what? And so oftentimes, when you find the school or whatever, depending on your denomination or organization and the leadership, they might be able to give you some assistance. And it might be the tipping point towards your pastor saying, you know what? She might be ready for eldership, or he might be ready for pastorate, or he might, whatever. So get that education, and you can get it done at Denver Seminary. Now, of course, you can see where you can get all the information at DenverSeminary.edu /DC. That's DenverSeminary.edu/DC. So we're going to jump into the portion of the listening sessions for Black pastors and church leaders that's coming up. Tell us about the research that Denver Seminary is doing with Black pastors and church leaders.
Wonderful. I would love to. So Denver Seminary is very interested in hearing from Black leaders in the Black church. We have mostly for the reason of understanding what they feel they need with regards to theological education systems, and making it more broadly accessible for the entire community. We also want to invite them to speak from their heart. We're not assuming that we know what those intricate things are or what their thoughts are about theological education, or even what they may need to make it more accessible to everyone. We have held 7 sessions in July, and these 3 that are coming up are in October, and we are hoping to fill them to the brim so that we can hear from pastors, church leaders, and lay leaders about what their thoughts are and what's on their heart about theological education.
That's so good. So if you're watching via YouTube or Facebook, you want to share this with your church, share this with your pastor, share this with your organization, and let them know that conversations is being had. Because my experience in ministry is that oftentimes seminary isn't addressing the Black church or the Black ministry, right? And so I love it that Denver Seminary is focusing on that. Not that the end all be all is any other denomination or any other culture, but it's not really always geared towards Black culture. And so this is really, really this is tipping the point towards, maybe this is where I should go. Because you're sensitive to ministry in our community, and when we're dealing with a predominantly congregation that's out of the Black community, it's really it's comparable to have a school that's going to be able to address those needs. So I think that's dope. Why are you focusing on the Black church?
Well, their participation is critical. So as you can see, the 3 of us are alums of Denver Seminary, very proudly that we went through the programs at Denver Seminary, and all of us came for different reasons. But their participation, the Black church leaders, Black pastors, lay ministers, their participation is critical, because we are not assuming that we know what we don't know. It is a fact-finding mission, more or less, listening. I will ask a few questions, but most of that hour is going to be listening to their responses to these questions, which has been very helpful already. We're going to provide a great dinner. There'll be a little fellowship time so that we can get relaxed. Then we jump right into the listening sessions. And so I'm very excited. And the other thing is we're eager to hear from them. A lot of times people will create projects or curriculum and thinking that they understand what the need is. And that's really not starting where we should. We really need to listen and understand and let people tell us what the need is, what the thoughts are, and then go from there and build something that can benefit the entire community.
That is so good. I mean, instead of stabbing in the dark, right, trying to figure out what the needs are, let's just address it. Let's find out what the needs are, find out what areas we should be focusing on. And I think that's pretty awesome. What are you asking Black church leaders to do?
Register today, tomorrow, and registration will be open for the next 3 sessions up until the day of the sessions. They can register on Eventbrite, Denver Seminary. 3 dates will pop up. Right now, we have October 12th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Fairfax Marriott in Fair Oaks, Virginia. We have October 19th, 2021, from 6:30 to 8 at the Gaithersburg Marriott Washington Center. And we have October 26th, 2021, from 6:30 to 8 at the Crown Plaza, Greenbelt, Maryland. That used to be the old Greenbelt Marriott. Everyone in the DMV knows where that location is. We chose it purposefully. And we are excited for people to go register at Eventbrite, Denver Seminary for one of these 3 listening sessions.
I love this. All right. Awanya says, from our past sessions, what are some of the things you have learned about the needs of Black clergy congregants that you didn't know before these sessions? That's probably fully loaded, right?
A lot. What I will say is we knew that the Black church is not a monolith. And that's the biggest thing that we have to understand. There's not one big brush that you can paint any single Black church or denominational church by. And so it is important to listen to as many voices as you can to understand. And we've got the gambit. There were a couple of trends that we noticed. What most of the Black pastors want us to do is to bring the full and whole gospel, not strained or filtered. There is a lively discussion about Blacks in scripture that tend to be played down a little bit. And most of the Black pastors did not learn that until they went to seminary. And you would think it would be an aha, thank you for it. Most of them were not thrilled that they had to hear about it in seminary. Wow. Yeah, it is. So the other thing is that there are needs, cost is concerned. But what I also learned was that it's graduate level. So the Denver Seminary program, the graduate school, is comparable to graduate school everywhere else in the DMV. And so it's not that it's super expensive. If you're looking for a graduate degree and anywhere in the DMV, you're going to spend this and more depending on where you're going. So it was really just the thing that Deborah talked about, having options, and many people weren't aware that there are multiple options. There are scholarships, there are, depending on your church, there are discounts for church members, there's the VA benefits, and that most people don't take advantage of, that can be used for seminary. So what we were able to explain some of those things to them. The other thing for me, I know you talked about it after college. I started after I paid for college for a grown daughter, but it was very affordable for me because I could pay monthly. That was okay. So I'm just saying my daughter had all Christian education for her whole time since she was in kindergarten. So we were used to paying tuition. We just kept it going through college, and then we kept it going for mom. Okay. So so that was some of the concern. The other thing was accessible. Oh, I almost forgot. The biggest thing that they said they needed was what Denver Seminary kicked off this fall with the lay leaders program. Many of them were talking about how if they've done 20, 30 years pastoring churches, preaching and teaching, many wanted additional education for foundational stuff, but they weren't going to go to try to get a graduate degree, or they didn't have an undergraduate degree. And this lay ministers program, they were describing it. And I was so thrilled to be able to whip out a flyer and go, well, it starts in the fall. And so it felt like God lined everything up. I didn't hear anything that shocked me, but it confirmed that one, the Black church is not a monolith, that should be listened to and heard, and that many of the things they need, everybody in the community needs. So it's not just the Black church needing access to biblically sound doctrine.
I like it. So I knew this question was going to come up, and I'm glad Spirit of a Woman asked the question. So are you fully accredited?
Yes, we are. Denver Seminary is accredited with ATS, the Association of Theological Schools, and the Maryland Higher Education Commission. So yes, we are.
Awesome. So, people want to know, are we taking these classes for naught? Will this degree be, recognized wherever we are? I like it. So, we talked about Denver Seminary and, enrolling in the classes. So what Pamela's talking about is these listening sessions that are specifically geared towards Black pastors and Black churches. Is happening in October 12th, October 19th, and October 26th. So, is there a charge to attend these seminars?
Absolutely free. My husband's favorite word. It is free. Free, and a delicious meal. Yes.
Listen, Listen, and you know what you talked about, even from Black ministries and just denominational. So when you talk about Pentecostals, a lot of them are not required to get education, right? Some of the Methodist churches, the Baptist churches, the different conventions require it for you to be called as pastor and leaders, but some churches are not. So like Reverend I said, they may not have the undergraduate degree, but they've been called to pastor and been successful at pastoring. So that's a great way to enter into education, build on what you already know, and go to this accredited school and do it right here in the DMV. That is so amazing. Okay, Spirit of Woman says, so how long is the average doctoral program?
Well, I'll address that since I am, currently involved in that arena. The way it kind of depends on how quickly you kind of want to get through the program. But if I had to give an average, I would probably say it's about a 4-year program. They offer the Doctor of Ministry, which is really a degree in the practice of ministry. So it's 9 courses, and then once you complete those courses, you are ready to start your thesis work. Now, notice I said thesis as opposed to dissertation. Right. Denver goes on the premise of they have you write a thesis, and that is really something that an area or something that you think that either your own ministry or ministry in the broader sense could use from your research and from your learning, and it can be applied, within a ministry setting. So, but to answer the question, roughly 4 years is what I would say as an average.
Got it. So because you can actually do it at your own pace, is what you're saying.
You can do it at your own pace. Mm-hmm. And the semesters are set up a little different than your traditional spring and fall type semesters. So they're the months that they begin and end are a little bit different. Say, for instance, the spring semester started in April and it just ended in September, which is, a little odd from what people are accustomed to generally. And so they are a little longer. So you can take 2 courses, or you can take 1. Just depending on how quickly or how much other life you have that could possibly get in the way. So yeah.
I get it. So getting back to, I wanted to answer a question coming from our social media, but getting back to the workshop sessions that are coming up. October 12th, October 19th, October 26th, which are absolutely free, focusing on Black ministry. Can you attend more than one, or all 3 of those sessions the same session?
They're actually the same session. They take on a different feel because it depends on who's in the room for that session. But I won't say you can't attend 2 of them if you must. I have had that question asked of me in person for some of the ones in July, because the person didn't feel like they had gotten all of their thoughts out, and I was welcoming all thoughts. So I'm not this thought screener. I want them all, and we're looking for trends. So it is the same session. You could pick the date or the location that works best for you. But I'm not going to say you can't attend all 3 if you must.
Got it. I love this. So we're got to wrap up. We're already at 7:30. I told you I could talk for this whole session for an hour because it's so much great information. Before I move on, Pamela, is there anything else that you wanted to share with regards to the workshop before we move on to getting all the information from you guys?
Just please register to come. We want to have a good idea of how many are coming, so we have plenty of food for you. It's going to be a plated dinner. So, I'm not going to be throwing chips and dip at you. And we value your time. We value, more importantly, your thoughts, what's on your heart, and your voice. Please come out, because this is a clear opportunity to have your say and let us know what you feel is needed with regards to theological educational programs in the area.
Love it. So for those, again, who are watching via Facebook and YouTube, share this on your page, share this with your pastors, share this with your church members, share with the leadership of your church so that they can be a part. These free seminars gearing towards engaging Black ministry. Now you can join me and we could probably go to seminary together, because I'm going to call Deborah Barr and get some more information about Denver Seminary. I have my undergraduate, so I will be working on a master's program if I go into seminary, and because I can do it at my own pace and it's around my work schedule, I don't think there's an excuse for me to get started. You know what I mean? So I hear God loud and clearly saying, I'm opening up the way. I'm moving everything out the way so you can be a part. If you have that same tug, let's join together. Let's go to Denver Seminary together and find out more information. So before we go, I know it's 7:30, we're about to wrap up, but tell our listeners if we can get in touch with any of you guys, if we have any questions with regards to Denver Seminary, about the area of expertise that you're talking about, the lay ministry, talking about the school overall, and even the workshop seminars. How can we get in touch with you all individually?
The best way is to go to our website at DenverSeminary.edu/DC. You can fill out the request for information form, and then I can get you to Iantha, I can get you to Pam, or wherever you need to be within Denver Seminary.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so any closing remarks? It's 7:30, so we're going to wrap up. Thank you guys for joining us, for all those who are listening or watching on YouTube and Facebook. But before we go, are there any final words from any of you all?
Thank you for the opportunity, and register, please.
Got it.
Yes,
got it.
absolutely. Thank you so much for making space and time for us to come and talk about something that we all are very passionate about. And so thank you so much.
I love that. I'm going to join the Sisterhood of Denver, I think.
All right.
Anywho, well, the workshop session, see where the registration, the banners roll. I'm scrolling underneath. If you'd like to be a part of the workshop sessions that Pam talked about, register right there at Eventbrite, keyword Denver Seminary to find out more information. It's absolutely free and it's engaging Black ministry. Anything that you'd like to learn about what Iantha or Reverend I talked about with regards to lay ministry, go to DenverSeminary.edu/DC. Deborah said the same thing. Go to DenverSeminary.edu/DC if you have any questions about registering or about Denver Seminary. This has been so great and informative. Thank you guys so much for trusting us with the information. And y'all, don't forget to share. All right? That's our town hall meeting tonight. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Praise 104.1.